Okay, so future value 619 200. Okay, then you multiply with 1 divided by 1.2. Okay. Okay, how much you get? How much do you get? How much you get? Not using table, using the formula. Okay, using your calculator. One plus 0.2 is 1 point. Okay. 0.2 is 20 cents. Okay. Okay, how much do you get? Yes? How much you get? 100,000. Okay. 0.2, right? So actually it's the same, right? If you say it's the same, right? If you compound and discount, is it the same? It is the same. Okay, now this is using formula. Now let's use table. Okay, use table. The formula will be you are using table. Okay, present value equal to future value times with present value interest factor I n. Okay, now use the table. Okay, what is our present value interest factor? It is 619,200. Okay, present value interest factor. .162. Okay, multiply. Okay, you get 100. 310. Okay. Now, do you notice that there is a difference, right? Between this and this. Okay. This is because using formula and using the table, okay, because of the sometimes when you minus and plus you calculator, right? Because you minus and power of 10, right? So the decimal is higher. So because of the decimal. Now let's say if you want to use using calculator. And now you want to use using calculator. This is using calculator. Okay, if I put the number 619, okay, 619 200, okay, and I input it as my future value, okay, and then I put 0 as my payment, okay. I don't know what is my present value. Interest rate is 20%. 10 is my end. I compute my present value. Will give me 100,004 ringgit or 26 cents. Okay, this is using calculator. Right, this is using calculator. Another one is using spreadsheet or computer. Okay, now let's see. If you want to use this computer or spreadsheet, it is easier. Okay, you can always have a series of cash flow. For example, 10 years, so 20 series of cash flow. You can use computer because it is you can keep a lot of data. Right? Now, the advantage of computers and spreadsheet is spreadsheet can go far beyond the computational abilities of calculators. Okay, calculators might be you can always do with 10 cash flows, 10 series of cash flows. But computers can go to 100 or 1,000 or 2,000 of cash flows. And then spreadsheets have the ability to program logical decisions. Okay, sometimes we can program if the cash flow is 0, please go jadikan a certain figure. That's why we can use the. It's better to use the spreadsheet. Okay, spreadsheet display not only the calculated values of solution, but also the input condition on which solution are based. So our display, if you are looking at the calculator, there is no display, right, for the inputs. But for calculators, yes, there are displays. They are displaying the inputs also. Input which is the present value, which is the N, I. So this is not displaying your inputs. And then it's also encourage teamwork. Okay, because when you use this using spreadsheet, you'll be integrating with all other departments, for example, finance department with accounting department. Yeah? So we have to go for teamwork. And spreadsheet also enhance your learning capabilities and your learning abilities. Okay, that's why when I want you all to do the assignment, I want you all to do using Microsoft Excel. Because if you are using the simple Microsoft Word or using the the normal paper, right? So you don't have the process of learning using the computers. Okay? Because a lot of things that these computers can do. Okay? Right. And also spreadsheet communicate as well as calculate. So actually you can communicate your result. Okay? It's just not calculation. It is actually can communicate also. Now let's see basic patterns of cash flow. Okay, we have finished present value and future value, right? Present value, future value. Okay. Okay, cash inflows and outflows of a firm can be described by this general pattern. Now we look at these two cash flows. We have cash flow A and cash flow B. Okay, a negative figure, we have mentioned before, is a outflow. Okay, this is an outflow. Positive figure is inflow. Okay, this is end of year sales. Okay, this is investment A and investment B. Okay, so there are three basic patterns. Include single amount, an annuity, or a mixed stream. Okay, single amount like this. Okay, single amount. At the end of year 1, you want to keep 100. Okay, you want to know what is the amount in the year 6. Okay, this is single amount. Annuity, okay, this is single amount. Annuity will be like this. The same amount for each year. Okay, same amount for each year. This is called annuity. Okay, this is called mixed stream. Okay, I mentioned before, right? Mixed stream is a combination of cash inflows and outflows, and it is different amount. Yeah? Different amount. Okay. Now the first one, simple interest. Okay, what is the calculation for interest? What is the formula for interest? What is the formula for interest? I equal to PRT, right? I is equal to PRT. Okay, I is interest, P is principal, R is for the rate, T is for the time. So that is our interest calculation. Now what is the simple interest? With simple interest, you don't earn interest on interest. Okay, you don't earn interest on interest. You understand that? Okay, now let's say the first year, you keep 100,000. What is your interest? What is your interest? What is your interest? 10. But the interest rate is 10%. Okay, what is your interest? The first year. 10,000. Okay, 10,000. Now let's say you have this 100,000. Okay, I is or R is 10%. So I is equal to PRT. So principal is 100,000. Multiply with 10% times with 1 year. You get 10,000. Okay, this is your interest. Okay. Now let's say if I want to keep this amount until 5 years. 5 years, right? Instead of 1 year, I want to keep it 5 years. How much is the amount will be? The interest I will receive. So I use this formula. I equal to P RT. Principal is 100,000. Okay, R is 10%, right? Time with 5 years. How much do you get? 50,000. Okay, now I add back this and my principal. How much is my total value of money? 150, right? 150. Okay, this is a simple interest. Okay, because it does not create interest over interest. It only creates interest over principal. Okay, this is simple interest. Now, what is simple interest is already been explained. Let's see what's the example here. Okay, year 1, 5% of 100 is 5 ringgit. And then we plus with 100, so we get 105. Okay, 5% of 100 is 5 ringgit, right? So your total money is 105. Now year 2, 5% of 100, you still get 5 ringgit, right? Okay, from the 100, and your total money will become 110. Okay. The third year, 5% of 100, you get 5 ringgit also. Then you plus that with your total money, which is 110, you get 115. Okay. The fourth year, 120. The fifth year, 125. Okay. So this is simple interest. So you cannot get interest out of your interest. Now let's see what is compound interest. This is the compound interest. Compound interest, actually you can get interest out of your interest. Okay. With compound interest, the depositor earns interest on interest. Okay? You get interest on interest. Right? Okay. Now let's see the first year. 5% of 100, you get still the same. Okay? 5 ringgit plus your principal 105. Okay? You get 105 the first year. The second year, 5% out of 105, not 100. Okay? 5% out of 105. Okay, the previous one was 5% out of 100. Okay, with compounding interest, it is 5% out of what we get here. Okay, so our total will be, total interest gain is 5.25. Okay, 5%, the formula is still the same, I equal to PRT. P, instead of using 100, we are using 105. Okay, so you get 5 ringgit and 25. Then you plus back your principal, which is the first year, this principal, okay, including the interest of the first year, right? 105 plus 5 ringgit and 25, you get 110.25. This will be your principal in the next year. Okay, this will become your principal here. Okay, 110, not 100. Okay, 110. Okay, year 3, 5% of 110, sorry, 0.25. Okay, which give you 5 ringgit and 51 cents. You plus back with your 110, you get 115.76, and it's also the same for year 4 and year 5. Now, if you compare the first one and the second one, the simple interest and the compound interest, which give you a higher value? Compound interest give you a higher value because you get interest out of interest. Okay, which is better by 2 ringgit and 63 cents. Okay, the first one we get 125, right? 125. Okay, how do you get 125? I equal to P RT. Okay, P is 100 times with 5% times with 5. How much you get? 25 ringgit, right? Okay. 25. Right? Plus back with your principal 125. This is simple interest. Compared to this one, this is compounded. Compounded gives you a higher value. Okay? Now, if you are looking at the bank, banking industry, finance company are using simple interest. Finance company are using simple interest. Whereas the commercial banks will be using compounding interest. Okay, this is different. Because you see, finance company, if you want to buy car, 7%, it is using simple interest. Okay? 7%. Normally they will use simple interest. Okay, but commercial bank will be using compounding interest. Now, time value terms. Okay, present value PV0 means present value of beginning amount. I mentioned before this. K is interest rate of R of I. Okay, sometimes it's called K, sometimes it's called R, sometimes it is called I. Okay. Future value N is future value at the end of N period. Okay, for example, if N is 5 years, then we put future value 5, which is for 5 years. Okay, N is number of compounding period. Okay, N is number of compounding period. If it is compounded yearly, then 5 years, or then we take 5. But if compounded semi-annually or quarterly or monthly, then you have to have another adjustment. Okay. A is annuity. Okay, series of equal payments or receipts. I mentioned before, if we have 500, the series of payment will be 500 all the way. Okay, so that's what we call annuity. Okay, this is normally being used by insurance companies. Okay, insurance companies actually uses anything, right? Insurance company, EPF, okay, EPF scheme, insurance EPF scheme, they are using anything. Now these are the 4 basic models for future value, present value, and also future value annuity, and also present value annuity. Okay, this one we have used before. PB plus 1 plus K, 1 plus I power N. Okay, right? Then this is present value. This is future value divided times with 1 divided by 1 plus K power N. Okay, we have also future value annuity. Okay, future value annuity, you take the annuity first, right? Then you 1 plus K power N minus 1 divided by K. Okay, and the present value annuity is annuity 1 minus 1 divided by 1 plus K power N divided by K. Okay, if you look at this formula, it is interrelated. It's a balik. Okay, present value, future value, okay, balik. We look at this, future value equal to present value, this is future value interceptor. But if you want to change it, then you can change, for example, now let's see, this is future value equal to present value, future value interceptor, K and N, right, for I and N. Now if we want to find present value, we just put this in front, okay, present value equal to future value, but we have, since we want to find present value, we just put PVIS. Okay, right? Not future value. Okay, so the formula is actually, you can use this formula. It's also the same as this. Okay, future value is equal to present value 1 plus K, right? We want to find the present value. Okay, what we do is that we'll transfer this over here, right? Okay, or we transfer this over here. Okay, so how are you going to transfer that? Okay, we transfer this down here. Okay, so we get actually present value 1 plus K and okay, we want to transfer this down here, so it becomes present value equal to future value divided by 1 plus K, right? Okay, and then we simplify this, it will become this. Okay, future value, present value is equal to future value. Okay, then you multiply with 1 plus. Is it the same, right? Okay, the same. So we can you know this one formula, you can get this formula, right? Just transfer. Okay, the basic one you have to know this formula. After that you can transfer it. Okay, understand? Right? One time. Meaning by ma, Alright. Okay, now let's say